Do you have any regrets from dropping out of pharmacy school? Oh, this is kind of a big question. This is actually a really good question. Are you smart or do you just work hard? The next question is, did you always want a career in medicine? Now, this is a really good question because the answer is hey everyone, so I'm making this video because we have actually reached over 1,000 subscribers now. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't have been here had it not been for all you guys' support throughout the past year. Now, I started YouTube about a year ago around December 5th, December 4th. So right now we've actually been over a year on YouTube and I have gained over 1,000 subscribers. And I really appreciate you guys so much for being able to get me here. And I couldn't have done this without you guys. Now, I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway for getting to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm actually going to be explaining that later on in the video. So be sure to watch the whole video if you guys want to know how to actually enter to win a prize at the end of the video. Now, I actually went on my Instagram and I asked you guys what questions you guys had relating to myself, my academic life, my personal life, really whatever question you had at all. I wanted you guys to get to know me using this Q&A, and I've actually compiled a bunch of questions and I'm going to be answering them in this video. First question I have is, why did you decide to make a YouTube channel? So this is actually a really good question. The reason why I wanted to start YouTube was, first of all, because I watch so many YouTubers online right now and I was like, if they could do it, I can do it. Who says I can't be a YouTuber? I mean, like, worst case scenario, I become unsuccessful and I'm back at where I was, square one. However, best case scenario, I become successful and I end up having a good career or a good following on YouTube. Now, this begs the question, why did I start YouTube at that specific period of time? So my thought process was, I want to be one of the Canadian YouTubers that is in medical school. In Canada, we don't have a lot of YouTubers that are actually in medicine. So I was like to myself, why don't I become one of those YouTubers? Why don't I take over that niche? So I was thinking to myself, should I start when I get into medical school? Fingers crossed, God willing. And I was like, why would I start then? Why don't I just start now? Why don't I gain all the experiences and skills now so that once medical school does start, I'm not overwhelmed by, medical school studies and everything going on in school while also trying to start a YouTube channel. Why don't I get my feet wet right now so that once medical school starts, I understand how to do everything and I become really efficient and productive at doing so. And I could also produce quality content for you guys. So I guess that's kind of why I started YouTube, in that there was a niche that was missing on YouTube. Something that I really needed when I was applying to medical school is I needed support from other people that were in medicine, and I didn't really have a lot of access to that, but only after asking around so much was I able to get that. So I thought to myself, what about all the other people that want to get into medical school in here in Canada that don't have people they can ask? I want to be that person for them, and that's kind of why I created a YouTube channel. The next question is, what school do you go to? Now, technically right now I'm actually not really in school, but for the past 3 years I was in Waterloo, the University of Waterloo in Canada. I was in like a pharmacy program. If you guys want to know more about that, definitely check out my video on why I dropped out of pharmacy school that I'm going to link above right here. Now, the next thing is, how old are you? And I am actually 20 years old. I was born in 2001 and my birthday is August 17, so I am 20 years old. Next August I'll be 21. Next question is, where do you live? And I live in a city called Mississauga. This is the city right next to Toronto. I kind of just tell people I'm from Toronto just because if you say Mississauga, a lot of people don't really know it. And since I'm so close to Toronto, like I go there quite often, maybe a couple times a week, I just tell people I'm from Toronto. Are you in medical school? So actually, I am not in medical school, but I did apply to medical school this year. I'm waiting to hear back sometime in January, February. So fingers crossed, hopefully by the grace of God, we can get into medical school. The next thing is, do you have any regrets from dropping out of pharmacy school? Oh, this is kind of a big question. This is actually a really good question. I thought about this a lot. Before I dropped pharmacy school. I compared my pros and cons. I talked to a lot of people, and I was pretty firm on my decision that I didn't want pharmacy. There's a lot of reasons why I didn't want pharmacy. Again, you could watch my video on why I dropped out of pharmacy school, but at the end of the day, I definitely do not regret my decision because there's a lot of factors behind why I didn't want to go to pharmacy school, being that I wasn't fully interested in the profession and I was interested in a lot of other endeavors like medical school, like getting my private piloting license, a bunch of other things that I wanted to do with my time for my future career that I wanted to do in the future. The next question is, are you smart or do you just work hard? This is actually a very common question that I get, and honestly, like full transparency, I'm not smart. I generally think the way that you do well in school is a ratio. It's 90% hard work and 10% how smart you actually are. Now, if you are already smart, you probably don't need to put in that much work. But you guys know that I'm putting in the hard work in order to do well in school. Like you guys see, I use Anki, I study a lot, I do a lot of practice questions, and that's because I'm not genuinely smart. I really have to put a lot of hard work into doing well in school. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that in first semester, I didn't do well. And that's because, I mean, if I was smart, I would have done well. However, it's because I wasn't studying properly. I wasn't doing the right things in order to do well in school. So to answer your question, I know I'm definitely not smart. However, by working hard, and anybody could work hard, by the way. By working hard, you can do well in school. Whether that's you, me, any of your friends, you can get the grades that you want to do. All you really have to do is put in the time and make sure that you're studying properly with good quality rather than quantity. The next question is, did you always want a career in medicine? Now, this is a really good question because the answer is no. I did not always want a career in medicine. When I was younger, I actually wanted computer sciences. I liked computers a lot. You guys probably know I love Apple. I love Apple so much. I love technology. So I did actually want to go into computer sciences or software engineering or maybe even aerospace engineering. I did apply to engineering at Waterloo. I was debating going. Did apply to computer sciences as well. I was debating going. However, at the end of the day, I thought to myself, it would be better to be a doctor that could do coding or that knows some engineering concepts rather than just be an engineer or a computer scientist. Now, being that I was very interested in both professions, that was the final result that I came up with. But in the meantime, like I told you, I have this year off, and that's where I'm learning coding, and that's where I'm trying to get my private piloting license so that I could have all the other skills that I wanted to do going into university. I can gain those skills now with my year off, while also hopefully waiting for a medical school response. The next question is, any tips for an aspiring YouTuber? This is a really good question. The number one tip I would say actually is stay consistent. Now, consistency is key with anything. Whether you become successful, unsuccessful, being consistent will put you at ease with whatever the result is. For example, if I was unsuccessful in YouTube or I wasn't getting subscribers, no views at all, I could blame that on the fact that I wasn't being consistent if I wasn't posting videos on a weekly basis. However, if you're being consistent, then there isn't really a lot of blame that you could put on it except on the fact that, maybe you're not posting the proper videos or maybe you're not editing properly or any other factors aside from being consistent. Once you can be consistent, everything else can be fixed, but consistency cannot be fixed. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is don't focus on the numbers. Don't focus on view count, subscribers, likes, dislikes. There are plenty of YouTubers that they had like 50 videos, 100 videos, 150 videos. Maybe it took them 1, 2, 3 years to get to where they're at. Mr. Beast was on YouTube for a couple years before he even became popular. Just let that sink in. And look how huge he is right now, right? All that matters is really just be consistent, do everything you can. And those are really the only 2 tips that I would give if you are starting YouTube. And if anything, I would say start now. Don't wait until you get the best camera or the best mic or the best content. Start now. Really just start now. Don't be scared about what other people are going to think about you, because when I started YouTube, obviously it was a bit stressful. Posting on Instagram and Facebook, a bunch of people watching me online, probably talking about me behind their back. Yes, at the start, that is like something that you think about and that's going through your head. But over time, you don't really care about what other people are thinking, and people actually end up encouraging you to continue posting. You think that people are going to be talking bad about you behind your back, when realistically people are actually talking good about you. And it's a really enjoyable feeling when people tell you, I watched your video, I really enjoyed it, or this really helped me with a project, or whatever your niche is. Whatever the case may be, your content will be beneficial to at least one person, and that's really all that matters. Next question, how many countries have you traveled to? Yeah, you guys are probably asking this because I posted vlogs recently. So I've actually traveled to 38 countries. I will put them in the video probably over here. You guys can see all the 38 countries. Yeah, if you've been to any of them, definitely comment down below. Let me know which ones you guys have been to. I love traveling. My family loves traveling. I'll definitely go to a couple more countries this year, hopefully, depending. I really want to go to Asia. I want to go to South Korea. If you know me, then you know I really want to go to South Korea. But yeah, I've been to 38 countries. What's the number one thing on your bucket list? Ooh, this is a really good one. The number one thing, and it might be really ambitious, but I really want to go to space. Like, realistically, I'm trying to do everything I can in order to have the opportunity to go to space, whether that's paying for it, whether that's, working in Canadian Space Agency, whatever the case may be. I really, really want to go to space before I die. And if I could achieve that, I'll be really, really happy. How did you break your leg foot? Oh, yes. So my leg is, technically I fractured my leg. You guys can see the cast right here. I was playing basketball with my friends about maybe 3 weeks ago or so. I jumped up for a layup, landed on my friend's foot. My ankle went one way and my body went the other. It was pretty bad, but what was upsetting about it is that I had a couple trips planned to the west, like Canadian West, Banff, Alberta, and to Montreal, which is actually the east. and I had to cancel them because of my fractured ankle, which sucks, but whatever. There's really nothing I could do. Could have been worse. What is the most challenging thing about YouTube, and how did you get through the challenge? So I talked about this earlier, but I would probably say the two most challenging things is, one, getting past that milestone of not caring what other people think about you when you post on social media. And the second thing is probably time management. Now, YouTube is a lot of work. Filming videos, it might take you an hour, 2 hours to start when you start filming videos, and then editing by itself could take you a couple of hours. Posting, making the thumbnail, making sure the descriptions are good, posting on social media, responding to comments. There's a lot of work that goes into it. It's not a small thing. I'd probably say it takes like 10 hours a week per video for everything all together. So again, time management is probably one of the most challenging things. And what was the other thing I said? Oh, and not caring about what other people say about you on social media. If you could get past those two hurdles or milestones and deal with them in a proper way, then I think at the end of the day, you'll be fine on YouTube. Now we're gonna talk about the giveaway. So the giveaway information is all on my Instagram. If you guys want to know how to enter, essentially you go to my Instagram. There are two different prizes. One is a Starbucks gift card and one is an Amazon gift card. Both of them are valued at $25 each. And there's actually a chance that you could win two prizes. So there are two prizes total. One is if you post on your story, and one is if you post in the comments on Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, you'll be able to find all of that information. After this video, this giveaway will probably end on the Saturday. You'll see the deadline on my Instagram, so definitely go check that out. But basically, once you win, you will have the option of choosing between a Starbucks gift card or an Amazon gift card. So based on the winner, whatever they want, I will end up purchasing it for them. And there will be two winners that get to choose whether they want the Starbucks or the Amazon gift card. Now again, I really want to say thank you guys so much for subscribing to this channel. I wouldn't be able to make this video, literally, I wouldn't be able to make this video had it not been for you guys' support. Thank you guys so much. I really hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care and take it easy.